Hello. In this example, we will look at solving rational equations. So the first thing you want to do is find restrictions, which means you want to make sure that the denominator is not equal to 0. Then the best thing you can do is multiply both sides by least common denominator to clear the fractions. And then solve. Remember to reject all of the restricted values. So in this example, we have to solve 5 out of x plus 1 out of 3 equals to 6 out of x. So you want to make sure that neither denominator can be equal to 0. We have x in the first denominator, so we want to make sure that x is not equal to 0. Then we have 3 in the second denominator. 3 will never be equal to 0. And in the third denominator we have x, and x cannot be equal to 0, but we already stated that. The next thing we want to do is calculate least common denominator, which is we need a factor of x for the first denominator, then we need a factor of 3 for the second denominator, and we need a factor of x for the third denominator, but we already have it. So our least common denominator is 3x. On this step, we multiply both sides by least common denominator 3x to clear the fractions. So let's distribute 3x. On the left side we have 3x times 5 out of x plus 3x times 1 out of 3 equals to 6 out of x times 3x. So let's reduce the fractions on this step. In the first fraction we have 3x times 5 out of x. X out of x will cancel into 1. So we are left with 3 times 5 plus. In the second term we have 3x times 1 out of 3. 3 out of 3 will cancel into 1. And we are left with x times 1 is equal to 6 out of x times 3x. X out of x will cancel into 1, and we are left with 6 times 3. Now this is easy to solve. We have 3 times 5 is 15 plus x times 1, we have 1x, equals to 6 times 3 is 18. And to solve for x, we just need to subtract 15 from both sides of this equation. And we will get 15 minus 15 adds up to 0. So this is x is equal to 18 minus 15, 3. X equals to 3 does not conflict with our restriction, but if you're not sure, you can always check, and checking will let you know whether or not there is a conflict by plugging this into the 5 out of x plus 1 out of 3 equals to 6 out of x. That was our original equation, and instead of x, let's substitute 3. So we will get 5 out of 3 plus 1 out of 3 equals to 6 out of 3. We have common denominators on the left, which is 3. And let's bring numerators together. So we have 5 plus 1 out of 3 equals to 6 out of 3. And this will give us 6 out of 3 equals to 6 out of 3. This is a true statement, so x equals to 3 is our solution. That's all.